Hey there, crafty friends. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. It's Tina here to share a card with you guys today. We're going to create a card using the Not Too Shabby I Heart Coffee stamp sets. So many adorable images, and I love that you can stamp the little eyes and the eyelashes. I went ahead and stamped the images as well as embossed them, and I'm trying to figure out what images I'm going to use for my card at this point. And so I'm really loving the adorable little mugs. And so I think that that is where I'm going to start. I'm going to grab some Copic markers and get coloring with these cute images. So the first set of Copic markers I'm going to use are the warm grays, and I'm going to do the little whipped cream topping. So I'm going in first to do the little shadows with the W3 blending out with the W1, then the W0, then the W00. I really like the way that the warm grays look for a whipped cream because it gives that contrast, especially if you're going to use the cool grays, which I'm going to do to color up the cups. So just going in with a second layer, blending out. And then I really think that it looks like some scrumptious whipped cream there on top of that cup. I really like how all of the lines are included in the images to really help with the shadows and to give you an idea of where to place your colors. So now once I get my second layer with the warm grays, it really does help my image to pop. For the actual cup itself, I'm going to switch to the cool grays and starting out with the C1, the C0, and blending with the C00 and the 0 blender as well to help remove the harsh lines. Once I get the cool grays on there for the outlines of the cup, I'm going to do the little cheeks, and for these tiny little dots, I'm just using the R21 and then blending it out with the RV00. I did add a little blue to the eyes as well, going in with that second coat and then blending out any harsh lines using my 0 blender and leaving that center part of the cup white. Now for this little cup, I'm doing the same exact colors, the C1, the C0, the C00, blending out the harsh lines with the 0 marker. And I really love this artwork. And I like the little steam that's above the little cup there as well. It's just so, so cute. Now using the markers to match the pattern papers that I'm going to be using, I found a nice little blend using the BG09, the BG75, the BG53, and then the BG72. Now, it doesn't look like it blends that well with the first color, but by the time you lay on that second coat, it blends so nicely, and I really love this new combination that I found. I'm going to color up the coffee now using some E's with the E29, E27, and E25. I find that that combination makes a nice little creamy cup of coffee, which is how I like to drink mine. And then the little steam there, I'm just using the cool grays to color those in. Again, I'm going to keep to the same colors, coloring this last cup, and the cool grays are going to go in there, bringing the lightest colors towards the center of the cup. Again, these images are so easy and so fun. There's not a lot of thought that you need to put into it because all of the little shadows are kind of dotted or penned in there for you, and so you just get to color and have fun. The blue on there, I love that combination, and then I'm going to go in with the E79, E74, and E70 for that band going around the cup. And again, making that jump from the E74 to the E70, it doesn't blend that great on the first coat, but then by the time you add the second coat, it really comes together and looks really nice, having that nice contrast from the outer towards the center being the lightest. I always enjoy finding new color combinations to use, but the colors that I chose for these images directly coordinate with the pattern paper that was part of this month's kit. Unfortunately, I believe that the pattern paper is sold out in the shop, but if you are like me and you own a ton of pattern paper, I'm on a quest to start using it. And so this paper was a lot of fun to work with. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll get my Copic chart out and I'll pick out the papers that I want to use and then use coordinating colors that will coordinate well with the designer paper that I choose to use. So this cup here, again, using the same color combinations, using the blue greens, the BG09, BG75, BG53, and the BG72. I really love the way that these colors work together. Now it does seem like a big jump, but then once you get the second coat in, it really blends together nicely. Now I realized when I was coloring the top that I didn't color it completely, so I'm going back in there with the E70s to finish coloring the cup to that little to-go top there. Now that all of my images are finished, I went ahead and cut them out, and look at how cute they turned out. Now for my card today, I'm just going to be using the cup, but I have a few images left over that I can use for an upcoming project. So now this is the paper that I was talking about, the Coffee and Friends. I love, love, love this paper. And one of the great things that you can do when you're using pattern papers is to just get a die that cuts shapes out. This particular die cuts out these triangles as well as the frame to give it like a quilted look. So when you have papers that coordinate really well together, sometimes just using a die that you can cut out a bunch of shapes and then put them together can really make for a cute card. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I cut out the little frame there twice. I'm going to use some liquid glue to glue it together, and that's just going to help my frame be a little more sturdy. And then since I'm using the liquid glue, I don't want it to fold up, so I use my stamp block on there to help it lay flat. And this glue is so great, it only takes just a few seconds for it to dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue that little framed outline there, and then fill in the triangles with the pattern papers from that designer paper set. I'm going to just pop it in there, and I like to use the papers to where they are matching the opposite side of the triangle. So as I get back around, you'll see that the designer paper matches the opposite side. And I really love the way that these papers look. It was really hard to choose which patterns that I wanted to use because I really loved them all. These are the ones that I finally chose, and I think that it turned out so cute. I cut out a sentiment banner, and I'm going to emboss this sentiment onto this black cardstock. So I'm just prepping it with my anti-static powder tool. I'm going to use some Versamark on there and some white embossing powder. I love the way that the black sentiment strips look with the white sentiment stamped on it. I really feel like it helps it to pop, especially when you're using a bunch of pattern papers. You want your sentiment to stand out, and this really makes for a nice sentiment banner. I also cut out this label shaped die, and I'm just going to ink it up as a little background for my little coffee cups. So I'm using the broken china and then blending it out with the tumbled glass, and I really felt like that blue coordinated very well with these designer papers. Maybe some of you guys have picked up this month's kit, so I hope that I'm offering you some inspiration on ways to use your paper and your stamps. I'm going to pop up this label using some double-sided foam adhesive, and now I'm just deciding placement for my stamped images. I'm going to glue those down using the liquid glue, and I did fussy cut all of those little steam strands, and I think that it turned out really cute cut out that way. So I'm just layering the cups there, and again adding the little steam. I think it just is adorable. So now that I have my images glued down, I'm going to go ahead and pop it up to the front of my card. I'm also going to add some foam tape to that sentiment banner. I'm going to add it towards the bottom and then use a little liquid glue towards the top to glue it to that bottom part of that label. Now to add some finishing touches to my image, I'm going to use my little clear sparkle marker for the whipped cream and the little blue heart. I'm also going to grab a couple Copics just to color the inside of the handle to match that ink blended background. I created a second card using those other two images that I colored, and I just think that these two cards turned out so cute. That's my goal, is to create in pairs, so hopefully I'll be able to keep that up. Well, that finishes my card. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video featuring the I Heart Coffee stamps at the Not Too Shabby shop. There will be a link in the description box below if you wanted to go ahead and check out those stamps and some other fantastic products in the store. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really hope that I was able to inspire you on how you can use some pattern papers as well as these coffee stamps. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, everyone, happy crafting. Bye for now.